Gwyneth here on a Fabulous Feelgood Friday, helping you to feel fabulous about being you so that when you are going for a job interview, you speak about yourself with perfect confidence, that you are comfortable sat in that chair with questions being fired at you and you know all the answers. Or if you're pitching for business and you're trying to make the sale without feeling completely sick to your stomach, which so many women do, unfortunately, when it comes to having sales conversations. And this week, I want to talk again about boundaries. I don't know if you saw last week's video. You will have seen that I was in, excuse me, I was in Vienna delivering a workshop, the very first face-to-face workshop of 2020. And by the time you see this, I will be already delivering a second workshop again at the Vienna International Centre on the subject of managing difficult conversations. And it's a huge subject. I could talk for weeks about these things, managing difficult conversations, because so often we react, oh, who do they think they are? Or, oh, it's not my job to do that. Or, you know, all that negative stuff that we talk to ourselves. Yesterday in the garden, crikey, the neighbour looked over the hedge to see who I was talking to. I was talking to myself so much, but we tend to talk to ourselves a lot. Well, maybe you don't, but internally at least, having this conversation about, oh, yeah, I'll show them, or wishing you'd said something to somebody, or when it comes to potentially talking about work, if there's restructuring going on, or you've been given some new tasks and responsibilities to do. Or if you're in business and you've got a client that just is always pushing the limits because they want longer and they want results, but they're not prepared to do the work. All of those things, we're confronted with them every single day. And so today in my Managing Difficult Conversations workshop, I'm going to be talking a lot about boundaries. Now, there are three basic things that you need to do to establish your boundaries. And it's very important that you do have them, because if you keep saying yes to everybody, if you don't learn how to say no to people, or if you don't know when enough is enough, the only person you end up hurting eventually is yourself. You'll end yourself wearing yourself out when somebody asks you to come and help for work. Yes, of course I will. Smile, smile, and you're absolutely exhausted. Or would you mind just doing this? No, of course I don't. Oh, parents, oh, make me a cup of tea. You make me a lovely cup of tea. Of course I will. Oh, flipping heck, I'm going to be late for the next meeting. All this stuff going on. So number one is evaluate your relationships. That's the first thing. You have to evaluate what these relationships going on around you actually mean to you. Now, this might sound very coarse, but are there any relationships that actually you should just let go of right now? Something I learned years ago, and I see particularly in business people talk about this. They talk about, ABC lists, or 1, 2, 3, or VIPs and all the rest of it. But write down a list of everybody you know, including your family, and think about the time that you spend with them. Do you really enjoy spending time with them? Is the time you spend with them valuable? Now, I appreciate that throughout the pandemic, this has probably specifically come to the forefront a lot more, really thinking about who do I enjoy spending time with? Maybe you got to the point where I don't care who I spend time with. I just want to be with another human being. But categorize, like I said, this is coarse, but categorize your friends, your family, ABC, or love spending time with, enjoy spending time with, don't want to spend time with anymore, and stick to it. So evaluate your relationships first of all, and decide, who really makes you light up, or who do you really enjoy being with, or who do you find that you can actually have a stimulating conversation with instead of just sat there opposite each other looking at Facebook and other social media. That's the first thing. The second thing is for you to actually ask yourself what other people want from you. Okay, so the first thing is, what do I want from these people? The second thing is, what do people want from you? And are you prepared to give it to them? Once you've done your ABC list, you'll be able to answer this second question a lot more easily. What do they want from you? Is it somebody who only ever telephones you when they want a favour? Is it somebody who only ever telephones you when they're completely bored? I have had a couple of calls just recently, I have to say, from some interesting people who have just been through a little bit of something. And it's like, crikey, why are they calling me after 5 years? But, whatever. What do they want from you? Do you want to give it to them? And listen to what's going on in here. Do you really want to give it to them? Are you happy to share your time, share your skills maybe with other people? Because there is a huge difference between doing somebody a favor because you really want to, because it is heartfelt, and doing somebody a favor because you feel guilty. I really should help them, because that's what a nice person would do. Because again, that's saying yes to them, and that's saying no to you. That's putting yourself out. And number 3, so when you've got your list and when you've learned what it is, or when you think you know what people want from you, I then want you to practice in the mirror actually saying no. You know, I'd love to spend some time with you. I have other plans, without saying what the plans are, even if it means you are just washing your hair, taking the dog for a walk, going to the cinema with somebody else or whatever. I'd love to, but you know, I've got other plans. Well, you don't even have to say I'd love to. I've got other plans, maybe another time. Or I've got other plans, full stop, not maybe another time. It's only through practicing these conversations that you actually get used to saying them. It's like learning a kind of a new language. You're only saying yes, yes, yes to everybody. You're only rubbish at setting your own boundaries and knowing where your red lines are that you don't want to cross, because you haven't done it for a very long time. And when it actually comes to having those conversations, practice saying I. A lot of the times when we get upset with people, you, I don't feel comfortable doing this extra piece of work. I have other things to do. You know, I'll get back to you. Talk about yourself. Give yourself permission to talk about yourself. Now, as I said, this is a huge subject. I'm going to be talking about this all day, and I could probably be talking about this for an entire week. But those are 3 very basic things that you can do to set your boundaries, so that you're not running yourself ragged, so that you are feeling good about being you. So number 1 is classify your friends and family, acquaintances, business people, whatever, into ABC. People you love being with, people who are okay enjoying with, and other people, absolute, complete and utter waste of time. You don't have to be friends with everybody on the planet. It doesn't matter. B, ask yourself, what is it that other people are asking of you? Is it favors? Is it time? Is it your skills? Is it some kind of input? Are you giving those things to those people because you feel guilty, or because from the bottom of your heart you love to help others? And then number 3, just practice having those conversations in front of the mirror, so you get used to hearing yourself using those different phrases, different language, if you like, so that you can effectively say no, so that you keep your boundaries in place. That's it on a Fabulous Feel Good Friday. I hope you stay safe. Please stay healthy. Have an amazing weekend. Stay fabulous. Loads of love, and bye for now.